Making headlines this hour, President Dr. Mohamed Muizzu appoints 2 members to the Human Rights Commission of the Maldives HRCM. The government prepares to unveil a far-reaching national development strategy, Vilunteri Rajya 2045, translated as Resilient Maldives 2045 in January 2026. According to the Ministry of Tourism and Environment, the Maldives has welcomed a staggering 1,520,699 tourists so far this year, marking a robust 9.7% increase compared to the same period in 2024 when the island nation saw 1,386,554 arrivals. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Minha Maroof. President Dr. Mohamed Muizzu appoints 2 members to the Human Rights Commission of the Maldives HRCM. Mohammad Shafiq Mahmood and Ahmad Maghzoom were formally appointed as members of the commission at a special ceremony held at the President's office. Prior to their appointment, both members took their oath at office before Supreme Court Justice Muhammad Salim. Following the oath-taking, the President presented the newly appointed members with their official letters of appointment. The HRCM comprises 5 members. The current commission members are President Mariam Munna, Vice President Mumina Wahid, members Aminat Shifat, Abdul Razak, Samau Ahmad Najib and Ismail Habib. The 2 new members will replace Mumina and Shifat after the end of their tenures this month. The government prepares to unveil a far-reaching national development strategy, Vilunteri Rajya 2045, translated as Resilient Maldives 2045 in January 2026. The plan, which spans 2 decades, is the result of a comprehensive consultation process and expert-led formulation. Full implementation is anticipated by June of the same year.
Conceived as a blueprint for long-term transformation and strategy, outlines a unified vision for national progress through 2045. The development plan addresses projected changes in population, lifestyle, environmental conditions, infrastructure, and technology. The framework is intended to guide successive governments in a coordinated pursuit of sustainable development. Public engagement has been central to the plan's development, beginning with the nationwide consultation campaign launched by the government, which opened with a public consultancy session on inhabited islands under the banner Kurimagu Salla, translated as Future Dialogue. Guradu in Kaf Atoll served as the pilot site, where the Resilient Maldives team gathered feedback from local institutions and residents. Additional visits to other atolls are scheduled to follow. Oversight of the plan's formulation has been entrusted to Nexia Maldives, a local consultancy firm operating independently under government supervision. According to Nexia Maldives, 10 teams will be dispatched across the country to facilitate dialogue with communities and stakeholders. The consultation phase is expected to cover all 180 inhabited islands within approximately 3 weeks of commencement. Engagement extends beyond local communities, with government ministries, political parties, institutions, and civil society organizations actively contributing to the process. The information gathering phase is projected to conclude by mid-October, after which a high-level symposium will convene. There, the collected data and public input will be presented to inform the drafting of the strategy. To refine the plan's contents, Nexia Maldives will collaborate with a 5-member panel of international experts. The group includes a specialist in financial, economic, demographic, and environmental analysis. Their work will culminate in the initial inauguration of the draft strategy in January 2026. Following its release, the draft will be opened for public review. Before receiving legal authority, the government intends to seek public approval of the plan's contents. Final adoption and full implementation of Resilient Maldives 2045 are scheduled for June 2026, marking the conclusion of a rigorous and participatory planning process.
According to the Ministry of Tourism and Environment, the Maldives has welcomed a staggering 1,520,699 tourists so far this year, marking a robust 9.7% increase compared to the same period in 2024, when the island nation saw 1,386,554 arrivals. This impressive growth puts the country on track to meet its ambitious target of 2.3 million visitors by year-end, which would surpass the record 2 million achieved last year. The daily arrival average stands at 6,232 according to the latest tourism statistics. The positive momentum shows no signs of slowing down. In the first 7 days of September, tourist arrivals surged by 23.6% compared to the same period last year, with a total of 33,773 visitors recorded. Monthly arrival figures demonstrate the steady influx of tourists, with January leading the way with 214,863 visitors, followed by February with 214,091 visitors and March with 203,468. Despite a slight dip in May with 135,614 arrivals and June with 141,722 tourist arrivals, rebounded strongly in July with 186,738 and August with 192,058 visitors. China has re-emerged as the dominant force in the Maldivian tourism market, contributing significantly to the overall growth. Over 240,000 Chinese tourists have visited so far this year, accounting for 15.8% of all arrivals. Russia follows closely behind with 182,315 visitors, while the United Kingdom, Italy, and Germany compete the top 5, each receiving over 100,000 visitors. The Maldives' continued success is underscored by its consistent recognition as a premier travel destination. The country has earned the title of world's leading destination at the World Travel Awards for 5 consecutive years, and in 2024, it also won the world's leading green destination award, reflecting its dedication to sustainable tourism and environmental preservation. The new passenger terminal at Valana International Airport, VIA, with a capacity of 7.5 million passengers annually, is expected to further boost arrival numbers. In a significant move to strengthen national food security and diversify agricultural opportunities, the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Welfare commences set-up of a special facility for producing value-added agricultural products on Goidu, Shaviani Atoll. The project is a collaboration with the United Nations Development Programme (UNDP) and is funded by the Government of Japan. The initiative is part of a larger project, the livelihood enhancement of small-scale farmers in SAARC region through small-scale agribusinesses focusing on value chain development, aimed at bolstering the Maldivian agricultural sector. The new facility aims to create products with higher market value from locally grown produce. By processing and packaging these goods, the government seeks to facilitate their sale in international markets, providing farmers with higher and more stable incomes. According to the ministry, the project aligns with the government's vision to create more opportunities for youth and women in farming, reduce the country's dependence on food imports, and establish more sustainable food systems. The construction of the facility is now complete, and the ministry is in the process of procuring the necessary equipment. Goidu has already distinguished itself as a leader in sustainable farming practices. Farmers on the island were the first in the country to receive certification under the Maldives Good Agricultural Practices (MGAP) scheme. This national scheme promotes environmentally friendly farming methods to ensure the safety and quality of locally grown food. The MGAP certification is expected to boost consumer trust in local produce and open up further market opportunities for Goidu's farmers. The new value-added facility will build upon this success, providing farmers with additional avenues for income generation and further solidifying Goidu's position as a model for agricultural innovation in the Maldives. The Ministry of Social and Family Development, in a landmark partnership with the Maldives National University (MNU), announces the opening of the country's first ever certificate-level course in sign language. The Sign Language Certificate Level 3 course is a 6-month program designed to build a more compassionate and inclusive society, a key pillar of the President Dr. Mohammad Moizu's vision for the nation. Applications for the inaugural intake are now open, welcoming individuals over the age of 18 who have completed their GCSE and certificate-level education. The initiative marks a significant step towards ensuring that citizens with hearing disabilities can fully participate in society and comfortably access essential services. This new certificate course is the latest in a series of government efforts to promote sign language communication. The ministry has previously launched an online sign language program for employees in government institutions and state-owned companies. That program saw participation from over 130 individuals across various ministries and state corporations, aiming to improve communication for hearing-impaired individuals when accessing state services. Building on the success of these basic programs, the ministry is also preparing to launch an online sign language advanced program. The new collaboration with MNU to offer a certified course elevates these efforts by embedding sign language proficiency within the national education system. Currently, sign language is primarily used by individuals with hearing impairments and their families. This new course aims to change that by familiarizing a broader public with the language. By increasing the number of citizens fluent in sign language, it will become easier for hearing impaired individuals to engage in the workforce, access services, and participate in community activities. Ultimately, these initiatives are designed to foster a more compassionate and equitable society where no individual is excluded and everyone has equal opportunities to thrive. According to figures released by Maldives Ports Limited (MPL), the Maldives' strategic position as a global logistics hub continues to strengthen, with sea-to-air cargo services exporting goods to 18 countries in August. The service, a joint initiative by MPL and the Maldives Airports Company Limited (MACL), has generated significant economic growth since its launch in May. In August alone, the service transited 291 tons of cargo, equivalent to 77 TEU containers from sea to air. The operation involved 9 major international airlines, demonstrating the Maldives' robust connectivity to global markets. These include Virgin Atlantic, Etihad Airways, Lufthansa, Qatar Airways, Turkish Airline, Azerbaijan Airline, Saudi Airlines, Swiss Airlines, and ITA Airways. The cargo was dispatched to a broad range of countries, including Italy, United States, Germany, the Netherlands, France, Canada, Greece, United Kingdom, Palestine, Belgium, Denmark, Sweden, Portugal, Kosovo, Turkey, Austria, Czech Republic, and Ireland. This expansion is a testament to the success of the sea-to-air cargo service, which provides a fast and efficient option for transporting goods, bridging the gap between affordable sea freight and rapid air transport. The service is particularly vital for transshipping time-sensitive and high-value products, including those originating from South Asia. The rapid growth and expansion of the service underscore the Maldives' potential to become a key player in the regional and global logistics industry. Continued growth is anticipated as more countries and airlines join the network, further solidifying the country's economic diversification efforts. Japan's stock surges at opening while the yen weakened after Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba's resignation stoked speculation that his successor will raise government spending. The Nikkei 225 index opened at 43,451.07, up 432.32 points, while the yen softened 0.7% to 148.46 versus the US dollar. The benchmark 10-year Japanese government bond yield rose 0.5 basis point to 1.575%. The 5-year yield slid 0.5 BP to 1.1%. Ishiba's relatively conservative fiscal stance has been seen as a positive for the JGP market, where yields are relatively low globally, though Japan's massive debt pile and widening fiscal deficits continue to raise concerns. The JGB market was dealt a blow in mid-July, when Ishiba's coalition suffered a considerable defeat in upper house polls. Outsider parties campaigning on tax cuts and increased spending gained seats, and speculation swirled for weeks about pressure on Ishiba to step down. That all came to head when Ishiba, saying he must take responsibility for election losses and instructing the LDP to hold an emergency leadership vote. Hundreds of Tunisians gathered in Sidi Bou Said, a coastal town near the capital, Tunis, to welcome the arrival of the global Sumud flotilla. The delegation from the flotilla included climate activist Greta Thunberg and several other prominent pro-Palestinian figures. Organizers of the Maghreb Sumud flotilla confirmed a revised departure date after vessels from the global flotilla were forced to turn to Barcelona due to strong winds, spending the night there before resuming their journey. Upon arrival in Tunisia, the ships will require some repairs and will await other boats to regroup before continuing their planned journey. Having sailed from Spain, the flotilla is part of a broader international humanitarian mission aimed at challenging the Israeli blockade of Gaza and delivering essential aid.
After 7 days of sailing from Barcelona to here, we faced storms, we faced a lot of things, but nothing compared to the difficulties that we'll face ahead of us, because nothing, no risk that we take on our mission compares to a single day or to a fraction of the risk that the Palestinian people in Gaza have to endure every single day.
Representing groups from 44 countries, the vessels reached Tunisia on Sunday, their final stop before heading to Gaza. The flotilla had been at sea for nearly a week after departing from Barcelona. Organizers are currently finalizing the necessary documentation. Once complete, the ships will remain docked in Tunisia for 2 days to restock supplies, including food and water, before setting sail for Gaza on September 10th in an effort to break the Israeli siege.
We are going with dozens of boats that represents more boats that ever attempted to break the siege of Gaza combined, with more people that ever attempted to break the siege combined, and we are going there in a humanitarian solidarity, non-violent mission that is combined with the global uprising that you're doing here in Tunisia and everywhere else in the world.
Israel has argued that the naval blockade it imposed in 2007 is necessary to stop weapons being smuggled to Hamas. It wrongfully described other attempts to break it, including one that included Thunberg in June as a propaganda stunt in support of Hamas. It is fighting a case at the International Court of Justice in The Hague that states that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza. Carlos Alcaraz ends the reign of Jannik Sinner with a 6-2, 3-6, 6-1, 6-4 victory to claim the US Open title again and tighten his grip on the era-defining rivalry between the torchbearers of the men's game. In a perfect echo of the triumph that first propelled him to the world #1 spot in 2022, Alcaraz's New York title took him back to the top of the rankings as the 22-year-old Spaniard displaced Sinner and lifted his Grand Slam trophy haul to 6. It made him the second youngest man in the professional era that began in 1968 to win 6 majors after Bjorn Borg, and also snapped Sinner's staggering 27-match winning run at hard court majors to dent the Italian sparkling season. The Spaniard, who turned heads with his surprise buzz cut at the start of the tournament, departs as the toast of New York on a 13-match winning streak with 7 titles and only 6 defeats in 2025. As grey clouds hovered over the iconic Arthur Ashe Stadium, Alcaraz continued to deliver the sunshine tennis that has lit up Flushing Meadows over the last fortnight, consolidating an early break by faking a drop to hit a winner that wrong-footed Sinner. He beamed after pulling off an outrageous half volley at the net and wrapped up the opening set shortly afterwards, finishing it off with a big serve that Sinner crashed into the net as the Italian's metronomic precision briefly deserted him. With US President Donald Trump watching from a luxury box in the stands and adding another layer of spectacle to the third straight Grand Slam final between the duo this year, Sinner hit back to take the next set after saving an early break point. After dropping his first set of the slam, Alcaraz turned up the power and bludgeoned his way to a 5-0 advantage in the third set before Sinner got on the board and the Spaniard closed it out with a monster serve. Sinner conjured up 2 breathtaking volleys in the opening game of the fourth set to roaring applause and held serve after being pushed to the limit again, but he cracked under pressure and handed the crucial break to Alcaraz in the 5th game. Resembling a flamingo in full flight in his bright pink vest, Alcaraz soared ahead to secure the victory on his 3rd match point and that's all we have for now. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a pleasant day ahead.